I feel like this story kind of proves no good deed goes unpunished. So, a week ago, last Wednesday, I left my class early, and actually, well, by leaving my class early, what I mean is, I just skipped my last class. When I was walking to my car, leaving campus, I bumped into my professor, and I was like, hey! I'm not going to class, I'm actually going on a flight to Canada right now, so, see you next week. And then I just left, and I went to the airport. But when I was at the airport, like, anytime I ever go to the airport, I've never had a good experience. It's always like this horrible fiasco of like problems and just aggravation for me. And when I went to the airport this time, I get in, I go through security, and nothing really went wrong. I was actually very surprised. It was like the first time. So I was kind of optimistic almost, which, you know, stupid of me, because this was probably the worst experience I ever had at the airport. Like, there was a time I went to the airport and they managed to destroy my entire MacBook Pro, which was like $2,000, and they never even paid or offered to fix it, so that was pretty awful, but this might top it. I'm not sure. It was pretty close. But I was at the airport, I was in my terminal, I got through everything in security, and I'm just chilling, waiting for my flight, and I decided to get on my laptop, and I realized I had low battery. So that was on low battery, my phone was on low battery, and I just wanted to find like some sort of port, like some sort of jack that I could plug my stuff into. And I asked the lady up at the front desk, and I was like, is there anywhere I could go? And she told me that the closest place was going to be all the way across the airport pretty much. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And she's like, listen, don't even worry about it. Listen, what's your name? Give me your name. I'm going to write it down, and then I will announce your name over the loudspeaker when we start to have people board. You're not going to have any problems. And I was like, wow, that is so generous of her. Like, nobody ever does anything nice like that at the airport. So I took her at her word, and I went across the airport. I'm an idiot. So I go across the airport. This is probably like a 10-minute walk, and I'm sitting there. It's around 3:30. My flight's at 4, or, well, you know, we start boarding in around 30 minutes, so I'm keeping my eye on the clock, and then, you know, that was it. Finally, around 4 o'clock, I didn't hear her call my name, so I just packed my stuff up, and I just went back to my terminal because I didn't want to take any chances. And by the time I got to my terminal, there was like a mile-long line already of people waiting to board the aircraft. Which pissed me off because this girl said she was going to call my name when people started to board, and now I was going to have to be in the back of this line. But if that was going to be the biggest problem that I had the entire flight, I'm okay with that. Until the line started to clear up, I get to the front of it eventually, and she decides to have the audacity to tell me that they ran out of room on the plane and that I'm going to have to check my bag. Which last time I had to get my bag checked because there was not enough room on the plane. That was when my laptop screen just cracked in half. So initially I wasn't a fan of this. I was explaining to her that my bag, it's a carry-on, I only bring one bag with me. It fits under the seat in front of me, so I do have enough room. And then she just looks at my bag, she's like, not gonna fit. And I was like, that's not true. It does fit. I would know because I've done it a million times, but whatever, you know best. So I let her put the little sticker on it that, you know, says when I go down this ramp and get in front of the airplane that I'm going to let them check it. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm actually just going to get on the plane and put it under the seat in front of me because that makes sense. So I go down the ramp, I go left, right, and I'm probably one step away from getting on this plane, and that lady comes out of nowhere just like, sir, you're not allowed to do that. You have to put your bag, check it in, and put it under the plane because fuck you. At least I think that was a reason. That was as good as any other reason she had. And I'm looking at her, and I'm looking at these other two guys that are supposed to take my bag and put it onto the loading dock, and I'm kind of just like, I don't want to do this. I was just looking at her, and then she's looking at me, and she's giving me this mean look, and like, for no reason, she grabs my bag, she grabs the handle of my bag, and tries to rip it out of my hand. And when she tried to rip it out of my hand, her own hand slipped, and she just looked like, when she went like that, and looked like an idiot in front of all three of us, and I kind of just looked at her like, what the hell are you doing? And she was like, sir, you're gonna have to check that bag right now, or I'm gonna have to call security. And I'm like, what the hell? What is gonna happen if I bring this on the plane? What is this like a bomb? Like, what the hell is this chick talking about? So I didn't want any problems. I was just like, fuck it, take it, I don't care. Fine, I will just get the bag when I land in Edmonton, whatever. So I grab my laptop, take it out of the bag, I go on the plane, sit in my seat, and the plane starts to move. And when the plane starts to move, that means you can't get the bag, you can't get out of the plane anymore. It's over. So I'm sitting in my seat and I'm looking at my ticket that I have that has the little number for my bag, because apparently I don't know what my bag looks like. And I realize that it says that my bag, its final destination is in San Francisco, which is a completely different country than where I'm actually going. My first flight was a connecting flight, goes to San Francisco, then I go all the way to Edmonton. Which means for the next 5 hours I have to sit on this flight thinking about how I'm going to have to go down to baggage claim, get my bag, run back through the airport, find my flight, within like 40 minutes, which knowing my luck is gonna be hell. So by the time I get off this plane, it is basically like a full out like sprint. I'm running through this airport, I'm looking at every sign, I'm finding baggage claim. I finally get to baggage claim like 20 minutes before anyone else because I'm sprinting, and then I'm just sitting there waiting for my bag, and it just doesn't show up. But what I mean by that is I got there 20 minutes early, and then I'm sitting there, like there's a little conveyor belt that like all the bags get like, you know, put onto. If you've ever checked a bag for like a vacation before, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm just sitting there waiting for them to start going up that little ramp and then go into the little circular conveyor belt thing, and this is taking like 20 minutes. And I'm sitting there getting more and more aggravated because that means I only have 20 minutes before I have to board my plane, and that is going to take a very long time to get there. So eventually bags start going up the ramp, and I'm like, thank God, I'm gonna get my bag, I'm gonna be able to get on my plane in time, hallelujah. And I'm standing right in front of that little ramp that all the bags come up on, so I can see all the bags coming from a very long distance away. And after about 2 minutes of watching these bags all come up and none of them actually being mine, one bag that is very, very large gets caught in front of the ramp thing. I don't even know how to describe it. All I know is this bag just stops. It goes like sideways up the ramp, and all the other bags start piling up behind it. And I'm just looking at this and I'm like, what the hell is gonna happen now? And then another 5 minutes go by, nobody does anything. I'm just sitting there like waiting for it to like stop or someone to fix it. Nothing happens. So then I go over to someone who works there and I'm like, sir, these bags are all clogged. Can we like get this like fixed? I have a flight in 15 minutes. And he has no idea what I'm talking about. So suddenly he shuts down the entire thing. I can't get my bag anymore. I have to wait like another 20 minutes for these bags to start going up the ramp again. And I'm sitting here just like so pissed off. I am cursing. I am just angry because I just feel like I'm gonna miss my flight. Like I pretty much at this point had the choice of missing my flight or getting on my flight and not having my bag with me. And I've been planning this vacation since like July, so there was no way in hell anyone was gonna stop me from getting on that plane. So I said, screw it, I'm gonna forget my bag, I am going to find my flight. So luckily I was really smart about it. I had everything I needed on me. I had my passport, my ticket, my laptop, and my phone. Those are the only 4 things I need in life, really. It's kind of sad, but I had all my stuff with me. Nothing was in my bag that I needed, so I could get on this plane. The only problem was I had to get to my plane, which was the hard part. So I asked this lady where I'm supposed to go because I have no clue where I'm at, and she gives me this piece of paper like it's fucking Dora the Explorer type shit. So I had to go down the stairs, through the parking lot, over to gate F. By the way, I'm at gate A, so you know the furthest one possible. Go back up the stairs, go through security so I can get to Canada, find my flight in the terminal, and get on my flight in about 5 minutes I pretty much had. So I have my stuff, I run down these stairs, and luckily I find the parking lot right away. But I have no idea where gate F is, so I'm just sprinting in the first direction I see as long as I can. Then I see gate B, which is like, good, okay, I'm going in the right direction, because B, then C, and then, you know, F gets there at some point. So I'm sprinting, I'm going, and then I finally get to letter F. Then I run up these stairs and I see another parking lot, and I'm like, okay, that's not where we're supposed to go. Another flight of stairs, and it's another parking lot. Go up a third flight of stairs, and it's another parking lot, and I'm like, what the hell? At this point, I do the thing I should have done, like, you know, a minute ago, and I see that the sign says, this is where the parking garage is, and I'm like, what the hell? I run down all the stairs, and at this point, I have no idea where I'm supposed to go, so I just start sprinting. I just start running in a direction that was different than where I was going before. I don't even know. But luckily I was running in the right direction because I found where I was supposed to go, and then I run up these stairs, and then I'm like, I see this long hallway, and at the end of this hallway is security, so I'm like, awesome, I'm at the second part of this endeavor. So I'm just sprinting as fast as I can. I'm like on one of those little like horizontal escalators, and there's like all these people just standing on there like in no rush at all. And I'm kind of just yelling to them in the distance to just move the hell out of my way because I don't want to like crash into them. These people are looking at me like I'm crazy. And I don't blame them. So finally I get to security, I put my bag down. They understand I'm in a rush, so they actually let me go to the front of the line, and everyone was like cool with that. So those people are awesome. I put my laptop down, I put all my stuff in the tray, I take my shoes off, I throw it all in a tray, and then I just want to walk through the metal detector. And then they told me I had to take my belt off, which sucked because I know you should take your belt off, but my belt doesn't go off when I go through a metal detector because it doesn't have any metal on it. But I know it's a rule, so you know, I just did it. It's just I didn't want to because it would take like 30 seconds, and 30 seconds is like a quarter of all the time I have left to get on my plane. But I take my belt off and put it in the tray, go through security, everything's good. I'm running, I got my laptop in my hand, I got my belt in my hand, I got my shoes in my other hand, my ticket, my passport, everything. My pants are falling down, I'm sprinting, I can't even breathe. And then I can see my terminal in the distance, and I'm just running. And then finally I get there, and I ask this lady in line, I'm like, is this the flight to Edmonton? And she is like, yes. except in a Canadian accent, and I just fell on the floor pretty much. I was so exhausted, I was just drenched in sweat, it was awful. But luckily I did manage to get on my flight. It was a miracle that I did. My bag didn't even get there for another 2 days after I did land at Edmonton. But yeah, that was the most awful flight experience, or not even flight, just airport experience of my life. But honestly, it was worth it. I'm so happy. A, it's a good story. B, it was just fun. I love Canada. But it was awesome being there. I'm so glad I went. Like, I wouldn't go back and change that for anything, because I went to go and surprise my friend Ashley for her birthday. She didn't even know I was going. I showed up at her house at like 1 in the morning and surprised her. So that was fun. But yeah, guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up down below. Let me know some of your worst airport experiences, or some that you even heard, or, you know, any story on any type of transportation. But yeah, guys, if you missed my last video, that's going to be right there. And guys, that's really all I've got to say on it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next Monday. Peace.